This video is meant for a mature audience over the age of 18 and not made for kids under the age of 13, as it contains a lot of harsh language, strong jokes, and other elements that may be inappropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is highly advised. A long time ago, in the year of 1945, a railway enthusiast man named Reverend Wilbur Awdry published a book called The Three Railway Engines that was first published on May 12. Within it were 4 simple stories about the adventures of Edward, Gordon, and Henry that he told his son Christopher when he was sick with the measles in bed. The book sold very successfully. So, in 1946, the next year, Awdry published the second book that brought us with the introduction of the children's iconic character, Thomas the Tank Engine. And the rest, they say, is history. This little book series is called the Railway Series, which is everybody knows the classic famous stories that the OG Thomas and Friends TV show was based on. And thus, that just brings us on the topic of today's video. Today we're taking a look at the Plarail 80th Anniversary Railway Series Thomas by Takara Tomy. So, if you are an older fan like me and you probably know what it is, the Plarail Thomas and Friends line is easily one of the most popular Japanese Thomas toy lines that ever exist, and started all the way back in the year of 1992. You all know that I might be a huge fan of Tomy. This was my favorite toy lines when I used to play it since early childhood, which is known back in the States as Motor Road and Rail. Ever since this toy got announced in late January, I was mostly excited to see this thing coming out for this year. And so when this toy had finally came out on March 15th, I went on eBay and I found this item under for $50 plus free shipping. And so here we are, I finally got the Railway Series Thomas in my Plarail collection. So now without further ado, without wasting your time, let's get straight with the unboxing. Alright you guys, today we also got the box. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this amazing box right here. Like, don't get me wrong, like somebody needs to get a pay rise so they can do their own house payment. So we're gonna take a look at the box by itself, shall we? So anyways, here's the promotional artwork of Thomas pulling Annie and Clarabelle. Oh, they're running on the boot track. And also there was the logo, right here, and we have this 80th anniversary logo right there between on the side. And there's a great little artwork illustration of Thomas right here. And there's the Mattel logo. I don't know why it was doing it here, but whoever knows. And right here, coming on the right, we also have the Railway Series illustration by Clarence Reginald W. that Thomas is coming out from Henry's Tunnel while he's pulling the troublesome trucks. And coming to the other side, we have this advertised with the little character book of the Railway Series characters, which is actually pretty good. So we're gonna take a look at the top right here. Had the same thing, same logo right here, and this little Railway Series biography of Thomas. This right here, it's actually really good for a change. Now coming on the bottom, we also gonna look on the side. It has the same logo right here. And we also have the promotional art of Annie and Clarabelle at different facial expressions, but we might get into that later. So we got the same logo with the 80th logo, and this is the amazing artwork of Thomas right here. There's some info. It says go on to the Japanese Thomas and Friends website. Takara Tomy logo, and we're gonna look at the side that we gotta see how to open the battery. And look on the other one on the side, we have this amazing promotional art of a Plarail Railway Series Thomas. And the final one we also have is the same illustration right here. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at something that is a little bit different than I got another Plarail box. The one thing I got is a Plarail 2018 Talking Thomas. It's right here. So during the recording, when I'm doing the showcasing between these two Plarail boxes with a little voiceover, so there are the differences of the two Plarail boxes. One on the top that has a clear cutout window when it shows the engine and the rolling stock that look like this, but coincidentally on the random side note, but one on the bottom, however, is just promo art, and it also has a really good beige background. So yeah, that is one of the Plarail boxes that you should get in this pack in 2025. So not gonna lie to you that I really like the box for a change, but this is actually really good. So you have to, that's one thing I have to say. You gotta admit that Plarail did a good job over here. So I'm just really gonna just get things straight with the unboxing. So now for ado, I got my handy dandy scissors right here. So I always want to open from the back, but I just want to open in the front. I just want to open in the front for a change. So now for ado, without wasting your time, so let's get right into it. Alright you guys, so I now just cut out the tape, so we're going to get straight into it with this. Okay. Oh, we got some styrofoam right here. I'm just going to move the camera back for a minute to get a closer look. Oh, look at that. He is peeking out of the box. Just look at him. Hello! And dough. Alright, so let's get into it. And I'm gonna pull this thing out. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Woo! Look at that. See, this should be everything. Oh, what we got here? Oh, we got the instructions how to put the battery in, but who gives a fuck about these instructions? So we don't need that shit. And we got here. Okay. Yeah, boy, look at that. We got a little Railway Series book right here. Okay. So we'll just advertise. Oh, we're just gonna advertise one of the characters. So what we got here? We got Thomas. We got Henry, which is actually pretty great. Hey, and we got here. We got Percy. We got Harold. Let me get a closer look. And we got the GOAT, the first character created by Audrey, Edward. Now what's next? And we got Gordon right here. And next up we got Diesel, Mavis. Oh, we got. What's next? Oh, we got James, and then Birdie.
Beep beep. Hello.
And we have this little pedophile right here who is hunting for children, Trevor. Who knows about that, right? Alright, next up we got Toby. And the next page we have is the two narrow gauge engines, Scarloey and of course Duncan, which is apparently they just color him to amber yellow from the TV show, but in the books he always been in the color of red. And for the next character at the next page we have is Bill and Ben, and also we have Duck. All right. So yeah, that is the a little Railway Series book of the character gallery. Also, I forgot to mention that the camera can't even focus on the last page when it shows the advertisement of the little Thomas the Tank Engine book that was in Japanese. So here's a photo that I actually took on the last page during the editing process. So now let's get into straight with the packaging by itself. Alright, so we got here. We'll get everything out. I said I try to get everything out. Just get rid of this stupid tape. Because I need Jesus to help me to find me a way. Alright. First up we got Plarail. Alright. It's very good for a change. Just look at that. None of these amazing details, like nothing goes in comparison with the original Annie and Plarail for a change. Now let's move on to the another one. The second part. Some more foam. And up we have Annie. Look at that. Annie and Plarail has one of these different facial expressions. Like I'm not sure that what did Annie just got it from the Clarence W illustrations. I don't know what that face that she got it from, but let me know in the comments below. I think Plarail has the one really good accurate series, his face, for a change. So yeah, let's move on this side. Now let's move on to the final part. And we also got, I'm gonna get him out and showing off camera, Thomas. So yeah, we also got none of these. So if we can take a look at Thomas. Overall, it's not that bad. He's very good. Always really good in styles. But the Railway Series face of Thomas was pretty damn good. And so all of these would just have one of these details. And something is kind of a bit missing for a change. Like his coal bunker, something on the back of his coal bunker. Or probably the lamp irons and everything. But I might get into that later. So that should be it for a change for enough with the unboxing. So now I'm done with the unboxing, but before we continuing on the review, we have a message to our sponsor, and here's an ad just for you. This video is brought to you by the Stamp Plarail Store. Had you have a dream that you want to relive your childhood for some really good old school Thomas toys from the 90s and the early 2000s? Well, look no further and check out the Stamp Plarail Store. Stamp sells old mint condition Plarail models and custom value packs for good fair prices. But that's not all. You can get other items from the Stamp Plarail Store. You can get other Thomas toy brands like the Party Now series, Diapet toys, and so much more. So you may be wondering, what does the Stamp Plarail Store can do for you? Well, he sells mint condition models for good fair prices. You can also get a really useful fast worldwide shipping, great sealed packaging, and the best of all, an outstanding customer service. And you can definitely rely on him to help you out to build your very own Plarail collection. And yes sir, there are some things that might get even more better for you. If you're shopping at the Stamp Plarail Store, if you want to save some money like I do, as with the help support to my channel to this very day, then use my coupon code SteamSquad10 and you can get a 10% off discount on your first order.
Yes! Yes!
So what are you waiting for? You better get yourself some really good Plarail Thomas toys so you can get mint condition models and custom value packs that were based on one of the episodes from the TV show. Visit the Stamp Plarail Store to get your Plarail models today. Link is in the description. Well friends, here it is, the Plarail Railway Series Thomas that is outside of the box. Now, the model is not that perfect, but it has one of its flaws. So let's be honest, okay? I just want to cover the negatives later, and I'll be talking about my final thoughts and opinions when the review will be over. So before we talk about the negatives, let's all talk about the positives. First up, let's take a look at the most famous #1 engine, Thomas. Now, the model right here is just not one of the best, but it might be the most gorgeous model of all time. I just really love how Takara Tomy looked at the famous illustration of Thomas from Thomas and the Trucks and translated perfectly onto a Plarail model. One thing that I like about the Railway Series Thomas, I like that how Plarail gave Thomas both of his side tanks a really good matte finish. just like it's hand-drawn from the books. And especially that probably goes with the cab detailing, like the whistle and the circle windows, which is also being hand-drawn from the books. I really like the teal blue color they gave the Railway Series Thomas than the normal Plarail Thomas, and even of course the saturated red color on the footplate, which is, again, it's different than the normal Plarail Thomas. But more than anything that I really love about this model, if you take a look at the front, I just really love the face on this thing. I mean, just look at it, and oh my gosh, the face is just perfectly 100% accurate. It looks like they take a look at the face of Thomas from the books and then transparent into 3D. I mean, just look at it. It's just perfect.
It's beautiful.
I really do understand when many fans have been cheering into a Japanese toy company who give us a proper accurate face. And hell, it's a lot way better than Bachmann's own RWS Thomas, which has the outdated stock standard Thomas face, which is unfortunately cancelled on July 1st, 2025. Way to go to falsely advertise on your 2025 catalog, Bachmann.
You mother.
Anyways, aside that how much I really love about this model, the Railway Series Thomas is probably one of my top 5 favorite models that Plarail has ever made. Also, I forgot to mention that they colored his running board in a yellowish gray, but it's kinda hard to see while showing on the camera lights. Well, Lord have mercy, do I love this thing. So now I'm done talking about with Thomas, now let's take a look at his coaches, Annie and Clarabelle. And what I could say, these two were absolutely wonderful. While on the random side note, they probably look like the exact same molds as the original Annie and Clarabelle's since the beginning of the Plarail line. But it ain't all bad to say the least, but there's a lot of good things that I like about these two. I really like the brighter color of orange there are, especially with their carriage roots in a dark gray color. And I especially love they gave new faces of these two. And just like with Thomas, these two are an amazing representing of Annie and Clarabelle in the early Dolby illustration from Thomas and the Guard. However, the only differences in their faces between each other, Annie has both of her eyes and eyebrows facing in a different position, but Clarabelle here looks like identical to the original illustration. I am so grateful for a Japanese toy company who could bother to make new faces for these two, instead of just recycling the same boring ass faces they gave Annie and Clarabelle from the nearly past 35 years. But need I say more, if you might say. Like seriously dude, we do remember the time we also get the same boring faces of Annie and Clarabelle in one of these different train sets, or hell, even one of these multi-value packs that you had in your Tomy collection. But to be honest, we know the same toy company who've been giving one of the coaches the exact same faces. Like, you also got Annie with a shock face expression, and you got Clarabelle with these flirty eyes, which she reminds me of in this scene of High School DxD. Akano wants Issei to make her babies.
Yo, what the fuck?
On the other hand, however, I also like they include one of these little gray lining details both of their side steps. If you can closely look at the illustration again, you can see it right there. I just want to share my love and appreciation to one of the workers at Plarail for giving the two coaches with these little gray line details on their side steps. Even though the original Plarail Annie and Clarabelle models has nameplates on them, which is coincidentally only exclusive to the TV show. If I want to say about my only gripes about these two, I wish if they could make a new mold and tooling for these branch line coaches. Like, in the Railway series, however, Annie and Clarabelle were noticeably longer than the original Gauge 1 props from the show. So it would be nice if they could benefit them. Maybe they should bring back the long Clarabelle chassis and just extended the bots a little bit more longer if they could fit inside. But that is just me nitpicking. So now I'm done talking all about the positives. Now let's cover the negatives. And oh dear, I actually kind of find some problems with the Thomas model because here's what I'm going to tell you all. It looks like that Plarail kind of cheat down the detailing, and it's probably not that good. Now, what did I said about earlier? This model is not that perfect, but it has a lot of flaws that we need to discuss about. So now let's all go ahead and just grab ourselves a pencil and a piece of paper and just write down what's the problems about the Thomas model. Let's start with the most sketchiest part, the running board. There's no painted details on the running board, mostly like the smoke box frames and lamp irons. Wow, that is just wow, Plarail. You just couldn't even bother to paint these little details on the running board. I know it's very hard to tell with the illustrations, but you can closely pay attention. There's some little painted details on the running board. And let me give you some controversy. When Plarail announced this special toy in late January 2025, they show us the promo picture of Thomas with those unpainted details that look like this in the prototype, but in reality, you don't get these painted details on the running board that look like this in the final product. And this is not even new to them too. Plarail in the past always paint these little stuff on their Thomas models since over the past 20 years. So, why they couldn't give this guy some painted details on the running board? Like, dude, what the hell? Well, that is just very disappointed, folks. Looks like we're gonna grab ourselves a small paintbrush or a black Sharpie pen and just do it ourselves, I guess. Nice tacky performance, Plarail, you pathetic morons. Another problem that might be very disappointed on one of the part of Plarail's tacky detailing. If we take a look at the back of Thomas, you can see there's no details on his rear coal bunker. Like, brother, we just could address that Plarail also completely ignores the back. This is just flat out lazy. Why they didn't give this guy some details on his rear coal bunker? Now, as I'm recording this video, and I'll probably give you all some context, why did Plarail didn't give the bat sticker for the RWS Thomas? So here's some proof. If you take a look at the re-illustration by Dolby, there's probably no details on Thomas's back coal bunker. And obviously, this is just an excuse. Like, there are a bunch of illustrations that shows the red lining and the back tail lamp on Thomas's coal bunker. Now, you see, when Plarail first made Thomas back in 1992, they've also made a back sticker for their original model that has the red lining and the back tail lamp on his rear coal bunker. And there's a lot of people in the fandom who tried to make a bat sticker for the RWS model. And as for my statement, we shouldn't do it ourselves. It's the toy company who will even just give a damn and made it for us. And I'll be a lot more happier if they need to get up their asses up and stop just cheap down one of their toy products. So now I'm done talking about the second problem. Let's all move on to the third issue. And this is probably getting even more worse than that now I'm going to tell you all. Another faulty issue that I had about this model, which is something that's really pissing me off the most. Like, you know about the details that was on the cab and both sides on the Thomas? Yeah, all the details were just being stickers. I know what I said previously in my 2003 Henry review. I fucking hate stickers! Sticker detailing on Plarail models sucks. It sucks hard. I personally don't know what I'm gonna say, but here's one thing I'm gonna say. Stickers are my least favorite design when it comes to handling with toys, because stickers are way too goddamn fragile. So if you all remember from the past, when you're just a kid like me back in the day, that if you want to put your older Tomy or Trackmaster models inside a bathtub while the water kept on running, and you're not being careful with them, well the sticker details of your Tomy model goes bye-bye. And despite of all this, to get even more worse, to bring the elephant into the room, the details that are using the type aren't just any ordinary stickers of the Thomas. It looks like they're using the type of crappy paper stickers, which is quote-unquote the worst kinds of stickers that you could use on this model, because these type of shitty ass stickers might get damaged way too easily. So if you like pulling your model a little rough, or you have long or sharply cut fingernails, the details of the model will easily might gonna get a scratch, and once it gets a scratch, it's completely done. So you gotta be extra careful while handling the Thomas model when it has the paper sticker detailing. And here's one thing that I gotta say, nobody wants to receive a scratch on their Railway Series Thomas looking like this. If there's some other way that Plarail couldn't be bothered with anything if they can do, make a proper laminate sticker for Thomas, or even something better, just give him with those printed details. It should be a lot way better than using this cheap ass bullshit. And to make it even more frustrating besides the train by itself, like, you notice about the faces of Annie and Clarabelle, and you can guess the answer what it is. If you said paper stickers, you want $1 from your granny. They're using the same type of crappy stickers. Well, that is just great. Now you're gonna end up scratching one of the coach's faces with your sharp fingernails. Seriously, Plarail, stop using stickers, okay? Just print the details on the damn train and the faces of the coaches, you freaking idiots!
How about no?
So now, here's the tutorial how to handle the model. You can actually use your two hands to pick up by the wheels on its undercarriage, or you can pick up the smoke pots just like this. And make sure adding your model calmly gentle on the tracks just like that. And here's another advice that I want to give you all. Make sure do not touch the stickers on the side of the train and the faces of the coaches. All you have to do is just lift between the engine and the coaches by its undercarriage and couple them up on their sides just like this. Or if you're done playing, you can use your two hands by twisting the hooks to be uncoupled just like that. That is just in case you don't have to touch the sticker decals. Before I end this review right here, another problem that everybody has been complaining on, which is I personally don't mind. If you take a look at the front of Thomas, you notice that he got painted white highlights on his face, mostly like on his top of his forehead, his cheeks, nose, and the bottom of his chin. And what I could say about this, but this is not a goof either. I mean, I personally don't hate it, nor even love it, but it's something that's kind of a bit like off-putting or something. If you can closely pay attention and look back at the illustration, you can definitely see there's some white shading on the face. And frankly, I do understand what they're going for, but I do wish that Plarail had to immigrate the face better if the white spots aren't there. And I will bet somebody who is actually a modeler, like, who can use a nail polisher remover or rubbing alcohol to get rid of the white paint marks. I'm sure somebody who already done it, like my friend, the Stamp Plarail store, he actually did some improvements to get rid of the white spots off of Thomas's face. Though if I want to do it for myself because of my autism spectrum disorder, it's going to be a very hard task to do to remove those spots without damaging the face. And frankly, I'm just gonna leave my Railway Series Thomas alone and stay it was in his own pristine condition. So yeah, I think that's it for the review, and let's just move on to my final thoughts.
That's it?
So what are my final thoughts on the Plarail 80th Anniversary Railway Series Thomas? Honestly, this has easily got to be one of the best Thomas & Friends toy merchandise to come out in the year of 2025. I know that the model is not that perfect, but still, I just want to quote on this item is a absolute hidden gem of the Plarail line. 2025 was a big year for the Thomas brand, and thus, we are the fans, we have ourselves a wonderful feast that we've been eating so good to honor Thomas's legacy. We got some BTS material of Magic Railroad, some new toys and model trains, Day Out with Thomas, Audrey Extravaganza 5, and some other special events. Also, not to mention, we also got a ton of lost media, especially the original 1983 Down the Mine pilot, which is probably hands down one of the best Model Thomas essay content that we ever got. But all the things to it just aside, this has got to be one of my favorite items that I actually purchased for the 80th anniversary. And I would recommend any Thomas fan who loves the Railway series and Plarail, and this item right here will be your best choice to be added on your Thomas toy collection. Alongside with the other 80th train pads that Plarail actually recycled them from the previous years, even though it's just completely fucking monkey shit. Hey there, future Jaden here. Apparently I want to give you guys a quick heads up for a moment because I began to start recording this video on November 22nd. And I know the 80th anniversary has officially over on December 31st, New Year's Eve, which is apparently that I actually missed my release date. So now I'm officially uploading for today's video in the year of 2026. So yeah, sorry about that guys, my mistake. So, I'm going to give this Railway Series Thomas a very positive score, 8.80 out of 10. Everyone knows this toy was an absolute hidden gem of the Plarail line. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Let's all enjoy a good old-fashioned running montage. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos about Tomy Plarail or other Talking Trains content, please let me know in the comments below. Hey guys, Jaden here, right back in the flesh. Before you go, while I had to end the video right here, this project took me about 6 months to complete. So last year, back in 2025, I wasn't happy with the final results on the original drafts of the Plarail Railway Series Thomas because I had some negative issues on this pre-owned iPhone 12 that my father bought me this last year. And that's why one of the filming process on this iPhone 12 had some unfortunate poor quality slow footage, which is I found myself a little disappointing on the final results. But here's some good news for you guys. I've actually got myself a Google Pixel Android phone that I recently bought last year. And will be the current mobile phone that I'll be using to go back and start making videos about talking trains with faces. And there's one more thing I'm gonna say. I do apologize with all the delays for the review of the Plarail Railway Series Thomas because it had to be pushed back for the year of 2026, and that is why 2025 became the slowest year for me because of this whole iPhone situation. But thank God this whole nightmare life that I had for the past months is officially gone away. Anyways, so now I decided to make my official comeback to YouTube, but there's some more videos are officially coming soon in the future months. So here's what I'm gonna do, just take my time whenever I'm going to start making videos once again, and just finish the projects for the future months. So with that guys, I'm going to end this video right now, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more Thomas and Friends content, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Have a great day folks, and get your fucking bitch ass out of here.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.